first tip to improve your drawing is blending. On my channel, we've already talked about the essential materials to get started, but once you're ready to take your drawing to the next level, blending sticks are a great start, and these will improve your drawing in two main ways. Firstly, they smooth out sharp lines, so this may be useful for outline drawings, creating a gradient in skin folds, and it blends shading to a smooth finish. There's no blending here, and you notice on the hair, nose, jawline. The drawing is good, but there's a rawness to it. Again, there's no blending here, so watch the hair, the wrinkle lines, and also the hatching technique which was used for shadows on the skin is still visible. So if you blend out this shading, it will give a much more smooth and realistic finish. But be careful not to fall into the trap of putting down a light layer of graphite and blending it away completely again and again. The second benefit of blending is that it creates texture. You can use the blending sticks in a number of different ways to create different textures and effects such as backgrounds or skin texture. My second tip to improve your drawing is to turn up the contrast. On darker areas you can use some softer B pencils, but if graphite shine is becoming an issue, there are a number of different options available, such as the Pitt Graphite Matte pencils from Faber-Castell, or colour pencils such as the Derwent Lightfast, which I really like, or polychromos. But be careful using colour pencils as it can be difficult to erase these, but they can be very effective if they're used sparingly to accentuate darkest values of your drawing. You can also pull up some highlights to further increase the overall contrast of your drawing. For a more natural highlight, I like to use the Tombow Mono Zero eraser because of the fine point. I also like to use a white pen, but the key with using this is to use it sparingly and only on reflective areas such as teeth, gums, lip gloss and eyes. You can also use it on things like jewellery, but I don't like to use it on skin. I like to stick to the eraser for those areas, which maintains a more realistic look. My next tip is something you should do before you begin drawing, and it is to choose your reference photo wisely. You want to avoid a poor quality photo or one that has become pixelated over time. Other photos may have blur in key areas or images that are underexposed in key areas. Also, where a vignette has been used to blur part of the photo, this can cause problems when you're trying to do your drawing. Flat lighting is another photography technique which angles a number of lights at the model to create a flawless skin texture, which can leave a drawing lacking contrast and texture and therefore look flat. If you're using a colour image, use a filter to convert to black and white before you start, as a colour image may not always work as well in black and white. And if you're aiming for a realistic drawing, avoid any images that are overly processed. So you want to choose photos that are clear, sharp and in focus. Look for a good gradient of tonal values in the skin tones, and images with reflective areas can really help to make your drawing pop. If you're interested in learning more about choosing reference photos, I have a separate video on that which I will link. But that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.